Good afternoon. How is everybody doing? For those of you who may not know me, my name is Renata Joy, and for the next 30 days, I committed to giving you tips, tools, and insight for those of you who are new to real estate investing. Now, my mission is to shrink the intergenerational wealth gap through real estate investing, and I've been using this platform to sound the alarm. Now, if you're just joining us for the first time, we are one third of the way. Yes, today is day 10. And if you've missed any of our conversations, I invite you to go back and listen to them. And if you have any questions or if I've given you any type of value, please leave it in the comments and I promise I will come back and respond. Now, for those of you who are here today, you already know I want to know who's here, where you're from. And if you've gotten any value, I want you to share it with me in the comments. Now, today's conversation, it may be a little bit longer than usual, but I promise I will be short. I want to go over some steps that you should take to starting your real estate investing journey. The first thing you should do is mitigate your risk. We've been talking about that for the last couple of days. Now, how do you mitigate your risk? Get educated, right? It's your responsibility to get the information that you need to get regarding learning how to do real estate. Now, I'm not saying you need to join school and sign up for 4 years of schooling, but you have a responsibility to get the information. You can't unknow what you know. Now you know you need the information. How are you going to go about it? Now, the beautiful thing about getting this education, it becomes a part of your legacy. You can now pass this on to the next generation. They're no longer getting breadcrumbs that, a lot of generations received. You're able to give them a blueprint. And can I tell you, like I told you the other day, once you build your portfolio, you are now in a position to transfer wealth to the next generation. That's wonderful. Now, working and building your portfolio in a sea of many investors can be challenging, can be overwhelming. You can get discouraged, but I don't want you to get discouraged. How you set yourself apart, let me say this to you. Real estate is all about a transactional process. And how you set yourself apart is learning all of the roles and the description, knowing who does what and at what point. If it's the real estate paralegal, if it's the title company, if it's the attorney, if it's your bank, just learn everybody's role and what their responsibility is, and that will set you apart. Now, if you talk to a lot of seasoned investors, how they actually get that title is because they've done this over and over again. A lot of times at this point, since they've done it for a while, they now have a team. They have somebody that's doing their acquisitions. They have somebody that's actually managing their fix and flip sites. They even have somebody sometimes going out to the various banks to learn about the new products that they can use to be able to fund their next project. Now, that's great. And I do want you to get there, but I also want you to understand all of those roles. So when you get there, you'll be able to make sure that the team that you hire, they will be doing what you need them to do to work towards your buying strategy. But in order to do that, you have to understand the roles. Now, I just spoke with an investor probably about a week ago. He just moved to a new area and he's trying to get a feel for where he would like to invest. And I told him once he determines the area, he needs to become the mayor of that area. Now, what do I mean by that? He needs to go down to the city, see what the city plans are, find out what is the plans for the next 5, 10, 15, even 20 years. And if you see that they're bringing like more infrastructure, they're going to open up the highways or even bring a new water system, that's showing you that there's some growth that's coming and that's going to be a viable area. And now is a good time to buy properties in that area. And, I looked at some areas in Philadelphia. I don't remember the town. I mean, the prices was great to buy the properties. But when I went to look at the city plans, they didn't have any for the next 5, 10, 15, or 20 years. So although the price looked really good to get the property, it wasn't going to make any money. I was buying a job. And remember, we're not buying jobs. We're creating businesses. So I didn't do it. So again, become the mayor of the area, become the ears on the ground, get out your car, TTP, talk to people, let them tell you what's going on in the area. The next step that you should take is get your finances in order. Now, this one is big. I see a lot of rookie mistakes where new investors in particular, they go out and find the property before they get their finances in place. In today's climate, a seller is not going to wait for you most times for you to get that approval and go through that process. You need to figure out how much you can actually afford. And when you do that, you get what's called a pre-approval letter, which tells you the amount, the terms, and everything that you need to know about that loan. Now, this is only if you're getting a loan. If you're going to be paying for cash, this is not applicable for you. But let's say you have to get funds for this. Getting a pre-approval tells your investor-friendly realtor that you're ready, that when you find something, you can pull the trigger. It also tells the seller, hey, once we come to an agreed term, I can move forward. That gives you leverage. And a lot of people, they're not doing that. I'm telling you, a lot of people are making the rookie mistake of going for the house before they actually find out what they're approved for. And a lot of times they're disappointed because they can't get approved for what they think that they should. So find out. The third step that you should take is understanding you're going to have to look at a lot of properties. Yes, it's going to take true grit and a lot of determination. You're going to have to spend times after work, on the weekends, maybe going to meetup groups. Tell everybody around you what you're doing, even seasoned investors. A lot of times, seasoned investors, they will pass you some properties that maybe doesn't fit their buying strategy, or maybe they don't have the bandwidth at this time to actually do it. But regardless of where you're getting the source of the information from, always do your due diligence. I don't care who's telling you about the property, even a realtor. You got to be able to determine if it's a deal or no deal, and if it even fits your buying strategy. The fourth step that I want you to take away is you got to get in the habit of negotiating a fair deal for yourself. Now, understand this, negotiation is not a battle. It's a conversation that you're trying to get to a win-win situation. A lot of times, sellers, they're working off of emotions. You, as a buyer, should be working off facts. You need to understand how to pull comps. Now, if you're looking at a 3-family, you shouldn't be looking at a 6-family. You got to look at apples to apples. And when you're looking at comps, you want to look at what's sold. Don't look at what's active. A lot of times sellers, they place their house on the market based off of emotions. And I'm sorry, houses don't sell by emotions. They sell by a lot of other variables like your location, the price. I can go on and on, but I promise you, emotions is not one of them. So I know I've given you a lot of information today. And if you have any questions, if you need clarifications, or if you've gotten any value, I want you to share that in the comments. I want to know, what did you get out of today's conversation, because I want to help you get all of the tools you need to put in your arsenal so that you can begin your real estate journey. I see, I have Miracle here. I have Yolanda here. I'm glad to see you guys here. And I hope that you're getting value out of this as well. Now, listen, if you're watching this outside of my business Facebook group, I invite you to come and join me at renardajoylive.com. That's renardajoylive.com. Now, I don't want you to join for the likes. I really want you to join so that I can help you build your arsenal. I want your tool belt to be just as heavy as mine when it comes to having your real estate arsenal. Again, join renardajoylive.com, get notifications, be updated, and as promised, I will be quick. Today was a little bit long, but I hope that you got a lot out of this. I will be back here tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m. EST. Have a good night.